The judge denied Carmelo Anthony's new trial for one reason, and it was his own text messages. Carmelo Anthony will not get a retrial. On August 22nd, Judge Michael Chitty denied his motion for a new trial. One ruling after a 2-day hearing in McKinney, Texas. Carmelo was convicted in June for the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a Frisco track meet in front of witnesses. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison. His lawyers said the trial wasn't fair. They said there was a secret agreement. They said he had the wrong lawyers. The judge said no. And what the judge found in the evidence, especially what prosecutors released, is why that conviction is going to stand. Authorities said it happened on April 2nd, 2025, Kendall Stadium, Frisco, Texas. Austin Metcalf was 17, a junior at Memorial High School. He was sitting in the bleachers with his team. Carmelo Anthony was 17, from Centennial High School. Witnesses told police he was sitting under another team's tent. When he was told to move, an argument started. In an interview with police, witnesses said Anthony reached into his bag, he pulled a knife, he stabbed Austin Metcalf one time in the chest. Austin died in his brother's arms. Carmelo Anthony told officers on scene he acted in self-defense. That he was protecting himself, he was arrested at the stadium. He has been held on $1 million bond since. In June, a Collin County jury didn't buy self-defense. They found him guilty of murder, 35 years. New charges have not been filed. This was not a new charge. This was a motion for a new trial, filed by Anthony's new attorney. The motion made two explosive allegations. One, ineffective assistance of counsel. His lawyers claimed his original trial attorneys failed him, that they should have called more witnesses, that they should have put Carmelo Anthony on the stand to tell his story. Two, and this is where it fell apart, they alleged a gentleman's agreement with prosecutors. They claimed prosecutors had secretly promised not to seek the maximum, or had hidden some understanding about how the self-defense claim would be handled. An off-the-record deal that, they said, made the entire trial unfair from the start. The state called it what it was, fiction. Prosecutors said no such agreement ever existed. No paper, no email, no witness to it. Only the claim after a guilty verdict. And then they released the evidence that buried the motion. Judge Michael Chitty was removed and then reassigned. No, that was the headline before the hearing. News Nation reported the judge overseeing the case was ordered to be removed ahead of the retrial hearing. But it was Judge Chitty who ultimately presided over the 2-day hearing and issued the denial. For 2 days, both sides went to war. The defense tried to expose Austin Metcalf's background. The prosecution exposed Carmelo Anthony's. CBS Texas reported the gloves had come off both sides using the hearing to reveal violent backgrounds. This is what the prosecution released during the retrial fight. And this is what every outlet, Fox News, CBS Texas, Legal View, is now running as the lead. Shocking text messages from Carmelo Anthony's own phone. Garrett Tinney and legal analyst Donna Rotuno broke it down on Fox. Prosecution evidence showing messages that explained why the defense never put him on the stand at trial. Why does this matter? Because the main claim was my lawyer should have let me testify. But prosecutors argued the text showed a consciousness of guilt. They showed intent. They showed a reason why any competent defense attorney would keep his client off the stand, because cross-examination would have destroyed him. The judge agreed. In his ruling, authorities said Judge Chitty found the trial counsel was not ineffective. That the decision not to call Anthony was a tragedy, not a failure. A strategic choice to protect him from his own words. We have not seen the full transcript of the text read in open court. Those details were sealed in part by the hearing, but the prosecution's release was described as shocking evidence that undercut the entire ineffective counsel claim. Think about that. The very thing they said proved he needed a new trial is the same thing that proves why he never should have testified in the first place. Judge Chitty's order was short and direct. He denied the motion for a new trial. He found no gentleman's agreement. He found no ineffective assistance. He found the trial was fair. What an evil act to take a 17-year-old's life at a school track meet, a place where you're supposed to be safe. Carmelo Anthony deserves to serve his time. But more than likely, he will now serve his 35 years in prison while his direct appeal continues. Because this is critical, and most videos tonight will get this wrong, this denial is not the end of the road. This was a motion for a new trial before the same court. It is different from a direct appeal to a higher court. His conviction will still stand. His 35-year sentence still stands. But his legal team has already filed notice that they are appealing the conviction itself to the Texas Court of Appeals. That appeal will argue the same issues: self-defense, evidence, maybe those texts. But to a panel of appellate judges, not Judge Chitty. An appeal is not a retrial. An appeal does not give you witnesses and a jury. An appeal asks, did the judge make a legal error? It is paper. It is months. And most appeals fail. The state said today that justice for Austin Metcalf has been affirmed. The state said today justice for Austin Metcalf has been affirmed. What happens now is simple and slow. Wait, let me redo that for those snot in my nose there. What happens now is simple and slow. Carmelo Anthony remains in the Collin County Jail pending transfer to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. He will be credited for time served since April 2025. His appeal will be briefed over the next 6 to 9 months. No new evidence, no new witnesses. Just lawyers arguing over the transcript. If the appellate court affirms, which statistically it does in over 80% of violent felony convictions in Texas, the 35-year sentence stands. He will be in his 50s when he is released. If it reverses, which requires a finding of harmful legal error, then and only then would the state have to decide to retry him. Not because of a gentleman's agreement, because an appellate court ordered it. That is why yesterday mattered. The fastest path to freedom was this motion, and it just closed. The police have now found their conviction affirmed. The family of Austin Metcalf has now found a judge who said their son's trial was fair. And Carmelo Anthony has now found that his own words, his own text, are the reason he will stay in prison.